As people like to say, this is not my first rodeo.
You were on the cover of the American Lawyer from 1991. So now we're talking about 31 years ago. It's about protesting against abortion at different abortion clinics. And then you look at the bottom of this, and the two people on the bottom, again, 31 years ago, are Joe Biden and Clarence Thomas.
And it's when I was defending Operation Rescue, which became the predicate for overturning Roe versus Wade.
The tone certainly has changed in America in the sense of that would not be the headline.
No, they would never do that now. And they would never call it the new civil disobedience.
It would not be, fighting against civil disobedience. That is where it's changed, is that people's tone has changed, but the people are still the same.
You understand, assign the opinion to Alito, because Clarence Thomas is a senior justice. Roberts wasn't going to sign the majority opinion, so it went to Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas assigned it to Sam Alito.
People say you look younger now, though.
No mustache.
No mustache helps. It helped you then, because 31 years ago, you needed to look older.
I looked like a kid. I also didn't have to wear glasses then either.
Yeah. There was times over the last 30 years what felt like, mainly due to some presidential picks and who were, it just wasn't going to happen.
George H.W. Bush made two picks. One really good, Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
The other was David Souter, who became a member of the left immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately went to the left of the court.
There's always a concern that you're not getting
Ronald Reagan, Sandra Day O'Connor, and Anthony Kennedy, moderates at best.
Yeah.
Then you had Donald Trump. I mean, you have George W. Bush. There's another example. Okay,
Alito.
We got Sam Alito.
Yeah.
Then John Roberts.
Yeah.
Who didn't join the opinion but concurred in judgment.
Yeah.
Then Donald Trump comes in, and you get Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett. I don't think anybody questions whether they're conservatives at this point.
There are still cases, not this one, obviously, that go 9-0.
Oh, yeah.
There are still cases. So I think people need to load that, too. The Supreme Court is not this, it's not like an election where it's almost always now at this point 52% to 48. There are times, this time, where it was 8-1 or 9-0.
This case was 6-3. And there were conservative liberal justices that went with us.
Even the court right now.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the cases are unanimous.
Yeah, it's not always politicized.
And sometimes there was a case on Native Americans and jurisdiction today, which everybody thought was going to actually be an opinion written by Justice Gorsuch, who wrote the dissent.
Yeah, right. And people, I think
But there is a lot.
The left wants you to think it's a crumbling system.
So many of our cases have been 9-0. Yeah. 9-0. Including justices that a lot of people on the right would probably be like, there's no way. You could get Justice Ginsburg, who ruled with us 72% of the time.
Yeah.
Justice Breyer, I think, 81% of the time.
I have a vague recollection of a case called Jews for Jesus versus the Board of Airport Commissioners of Los Angeles. Your first case.
Yep.
What was the decision in that case, Jay? 9-0.
Right.
On the basis of overbreadth, which is a doctrine that said you're covering both protected speech and speech that can be regulated and that is not protected.
Mergens versus Board of Education. Prayer clubs and Bible clubs in school. You would think, how much more controversial can you get to that? Decision 8-1 in our favor. How about this? A church using school facilities for its services, for film series, for community outreach, 9-0 in our favor.
Those first cases were still Thurgood Marshall and people who are thought of as these
liberal icons.
Thurgood
Marshall,
White,
Brennan, Justice Brennan, Justice John Paul Stevens.
Yep.
I mean, these were not justices you normally think you would reach, and we had great success by God's grace in doing that. So that's why we are prepared for the next phases of these battles. We've got a great team in place.
We continue now the battles. Then we fought in state courts around the country, Operation Rescue.
Yep.
I represented Concerned Women of America in those battles. We now move to the state fora around the country.
We've been through this before, and we're totally prepared for the state court litigation.